You got to learn the music business. How do we monetize your music? How do we make actual money? That is my entire mission. There are definitely ways that you are wasting your time and that we have personally wasted our time and did so for so incredibly long. We want this to be the year, though, that you break out, that you get to the next level with your music career, and that you start making money. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 ways and the 5 top ways that you are wasting your time right now related to your music career. If you're excited, smash that like button and let's keep going. Number 1, you are chasing perfection and you are neglecting your
Nice.
online presence. The first half of that, let's talk about that. Chasing perfection just means that you are thinking way too much before you actually execute. You know you haven't posted enough recently. You know you need to try new pieces of content. And you maybe have even shot the content or written out scripts or written out ideas, but you haven't executed on it. And it's because you are chasing perfectionism with the music creation. Same kind of thing,
Yes.
right? And you can talk more about that, Mr. Producer. So what are we doing wrong with the
Let me say
perfectionism issue?
we are overproducing and we are being overly critical of the music that we're making. And in trying to achieve perfection, you waste a lot of time. And I can't even tell you how many times that I've in the past have overworked a song so much where I've just ended up just absolutely hating the song, where it may have even lost its essence of where it came from its just raw, simplest form. I'm finding a lot of times more that I'm spending more time taking things out than I am putting them in. Obviously something to keep in mind because your time is money and you're losing money the longer that you're taking to accomplish your tasks in chasing perfection.
And then the net result of that is you are neglecting your online presence, which is twofold, right? It's your social media presence, it's your presence on music platforms. When was the last time you released something? Why haven't you released anything in months or years, right? However long it's been for you. So then what's the solution? The solution, and this is I can just talk about myself in my execution because I make stuff, I make creative content and I make music, but I make creative content for multiple brands. I'm not just doing music. I'm making stuff as being a lawyer. I'm trying to share fun stories and teach you guys things and tell you about my life and all this stuff. So I have to get into different creative brains. And sometimes, a lot of times when I'm making content, I'm like, oh, this feels so stupid.
Right.
Or like I'm taking a
Right.
picture or I'm in the bathroom and all this stuff. So anyway, I'm just sharing that to say that I run into a lot of the same issues. And so the way that I overcome all of this so that I don't get stuck chasing perfectionism, right, or neglecting my online presence is that I just execute. It's not that it needs to be great or that it even needs to perform well. I don't care how it performs. Okay. So my rule is that I have to just do it regardless of how I feel. And I got to tell you, it feels really good knowing that regardless of how badly that I feel, I will show up and execute.
That is a critical skill to have, especially when you're thinking of the long term of your career, just being able to call on that executing because things have to get done. If they don't get done from whatever procrastination or anything, especially when you're running your own stuff, it's just never going to get done. And you're just literally hurting yourself. Let's say you're recording guitar tracks, vocal tracks, or whatever it is. You should kind of have, a time limit that you're going to give yourself or give yourself enough takes. Make sure that you're warming your fingers and everything up if you're playing guitar and stuff. Go for more field. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And sometimes I will do that and I will obsess over playing like, oh, it wasn't whatever. It sounded fine in the mix, but I'm just like, just remember those characteristics are the humanism that we have been taking out of music by snapping everything to the grid, quantized, and making sure that every note is absolutely perfect and everything is absolutely perfect. It's those little imperfections that can make a song just
Yeah.
amazing. So don't be afraid of those.
Need contracts for your music business? Go to topmusicattorney.com to get downloadable templates such as NDAs, record label agreements, management agreements, featured artist agreements, and so much more. Go to topmusicattorney.com. Number 2, when it comes to the top ways that you are wasting your time, committing to unproductive tasks and waiting for inspiration to strike. So I would say the best example of this is what I call productive procrastination. So if you are anything like me and you are anything like that Orko, you are here because you're like us and you hustle and
Yeah.
you have a career that you're working on and you're doing things and you're putting out music and you are, you're awesome, right? And we're so proud of you. But you might have this tendency towards productive procrastination, which is you keep yourself very busy, but you don't do the shit that is really difficult. That's actually going to get you to the next level with your career. And that might be, again, the content creation. It might be sending out uncomfortable emails to people because you're not great with like socializing, meeting people, setting up lunches, like whatever it is, you know actually what you need to be doing.
Right.
And a lot of times we're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna go watch another 20 of top music attorneys videos. I love you. You're essentially, intellectually masturbating of like, I'm learning all this stuff. I'm getting juiced. And okay, that's
But
great.
what do you when are you gonna pull the
Execute.
trigger? Yeah.
Yeah, or that you're like, "Oh my gosh, I cleaned the house, and then, I went through and organized my samples for, like, 6 hours."
Which is
Okay, what
great.
did you make?
Yeah,
What'd you
no,
do?
but I mean, but all that stuff is, all that stuff is really good to do, to take the time and to get organized, and if you haven't been organized, I would absolutely recommend that
And
everybody
that's
take a
fine,
few
but we're
hours.
talking
Yeah,
about productive procrastination. You're being
absolutely.
productive, you're doing good stuff, but you're procrastinating doing the hard work. So when you commit to really tasks and things and you are just distracting from what you have to do, the most successful people in the world are very simple. Their calendars are extremely simple because they create space for the stuff that matters and they say no to everything else. And
Right.
sometimes that includes things like birthdays and holidays and you know what I'm saying? But a lot of that includes let's collaborate, let's hang out, let's fly somewhere to go to some event. And so now you're going to waste multiple days for something that may not have a return. But then also waiting for inspiration to strike. Okay. So stop keeping yourself so busy so you don't get in the studio because you really just don't want to get in the studio because it's hard. Do you know how stressful it is? To be like, okay, whew, we haven't been in the studio the whole week. We're going to get in for 2 hours. And in this
And
2 hours, we have to kill it.
you have to, yeah, you have to be amazing. You have to bring your best stuff, and it's hard. It's hard when you are shifting gears, when you're just in one mode, and then you're going into, like, now I'm going to music creation mode, especially if you're not doing this full time, especially if you're doing this just, as part of, you have like a regular day job and you're still trying to accomplish these things, you get tired if you have a million things going on. That's why schedules are important. It's important to have days and times that you have set, that you lock away, so you can work on the things that you need to do. And maybe your first day of doing it isn't great. Maybe your second time doing it isn't great, but you're building up a muscle memory that when you're getting in there, that you know what time it is, and soon you'll start craving it and doing it more.
All right. So, I would say then the third way that we're wasting our time the most as musicians is that we're just neglecting the basics. So, you do need to do the things that help to grow everything else that you do. The success point of any business and any person is that they figure out something that works and then they do it a lot more times. It's not that they go, "Hey, this one thing worked and now I'm going to try something else." No, you double down on the stuff that you do find works, which might be social media content, it might
Mhm.
be the genre of music that you're in, but also just the basics of doing the work every day, but also improving your base skill, right? So if you're a
Yeah.
singer, are you working on your voice? If you're a producer, are you working on your production skills? And so actually making time for that, I think is really important.
And not just being complacent where you are. Like, let's say you learned a couple things already. You learned a couple skills, and now you're just kind of beating those into the ground because it's all that you do now, and you never continue to grow. I can't recommend enough to, not in the, procrastination realm, but you should still be watching YouTube videos. You should still be like learning new skills and joining online courses, and just really trying to learn the things that you need to learn and grow with. It's about how else you're wasting your time with other things as well.
Ever dream of getting your music into TV, film, and games? Well, it's easier than you think. And here's what I put together for you. A music library database of 90 plus music libraries, email templates, and a license agreement, all so it's done for you. Go to topmusicattorney.com for sync licensing made easy. Yeah,
I'll
and
try that.
and the way that I kind of live my life to balance the best of those both worlds because I always am trying to learn new stuff. I have time for it. As soon as I get up, I immediately put something on that I'm listening to while I'm dealing with just mindless tasks like taking care of cats and getting dressed, makeup, and stuff like that. That's still like 30 or 45 minutes a day that I'm hard learning something about business, about music, about whatever. So take that
It's
time.
a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle.
Number 4, when it comes to how we're wasting our time, is that we're ignoring the music business side and we're just doing other crap. The music business side of what we're doing is so fundamentally important because you don't know what you don't know. And so for
Yeah.
me in particular, I just spent so much time just trying to I got to get a manager, I got to get a label, and then I got those and
An
boy did that
investor.
make no difference.
I
Yeah, an
need I need
investor,
I
if
need someone to
only.
if only I had $10,000 to put in Facebook ads. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and you guys, I mean,
Don't do that.
the 99% of what we do is just all free because we just wanna help you, but we do have a music business course, and we do that for those of you who do wanna really learn this and do it for real because you want to have a full-time job, in the music business, you wanna quit your day job, like, whatever it is, but without even going through a course, actually just utilizing free resources to enter to make it part of your life. You gotta learn the music business. How do we monetize your music? How do we make actual money? That's my entire mission to help you because, our dreams and our hopes, our hearts are in this so much, but it doesn't help you long term if you don't know how to make money from your music.
If you're not constantly exploring ways to make money from your music. We recently released a video called 35 Ways to Make Money with Your Music Career, where we literally give you practical ways and actionable items that you can be doing right now to start making money. Like there's no excuse right now in 2024 that you are not able to sustain your career, your whole livelihood on your music and what you can do working from, essentially home.
You are wasting your time and not growing your music careers, that you are overloading yourself on gearing and just preparing too much. Now you're the producer here, right? Let's talk about plugins. Let's talk about, like at what point are you just wasting time and investing on gear?
No, it's crazy because, even I've done that. Not so much with, like, outboard gear, but I know plenty of producers that just have to buy every synth and everything, but, I mean, it's the same thought process. It's, "Well, before I start my new thing, I need to get this new VST synth, or I need to get this new plugin because it's gonna make my song like, this is what I'm missing," or whatever, and you just end up still wasting just more time because 'cause you're just buying new plugins, and then you're testing them out, and then you're just kinda making nonsense. You're still not even really doing it. At least that's a trap that I've been in. So it's kind of like, really trying to master the stuff that you have, what you don't need. I use a lot of like templates when I'm starting projects as far as just kind of having my basic things that I'm always kind of using. And then maybe I'll incorporate some new stuff here and there, but you really want to kind of just like learn your own stuff and prioritize the instruments and things that you need.
I really need you to execute and make a plan that thing you're not doing a good job on right now, which might be you're not posting enough, you're not making enough social media, you're not making music enough, you haven't reached out to enough people to network, you're going to actually do it. We don't want to overload on gear and prepare too much, so we're just not doing it. We definitely don't want to neglect the basics. We need to be
Make it a treat.
working on our base, skills. We definitely don't want to ignore the business side. And finally, we don't want to commit to productive procrastination
Yes.
anymore. And we're going to catch ourselves when we do it. I'm excited for you. Go take action right now. And if you're interested in our music business course, you can apply. It's closed right now, but you can apply for when we do open, which is at topmusicattorney.com/apply.